You understand that the signs never stop. There is not a cap when it comes to how many signs Spirit will send you in a day, in a week, in a second. You deeply understand the language of the universe. The universe has been speaking with you. Specifically in recent times. About shifts. Like you've been feeling not weird, not uncomfortable, but like something's moving you forward. It's like being, ooh, I just got it. You know, it's like those things where it's like in airports, theme parks, etc., where it's not an escalator, but it's on the ground and it moves way faster. And you could just stand there and it will just gradually take you along. But if you decide to walk on it, you feel like you're like going double speed, like Twilight, like running like they are in Twilight. That's how the energy you have been feeling. That you're walking, you're keeping your head up high, and Spirit's pushing something along. Wow. You've risen from the ashes, and there's another person though that feels that they haven't with you. I'm telling you, somebody's been watching you from the other side of the camera. So what that means to me is the other side of the phone. Is this an energy though that you would even should we entertain this? Because I sense a person that's so ready for love, but of nothing that isn't going to, nothing of a disturbance, nothing of a distraction, just simply somebody that's willing to now walk beside you on that escalator. That they've decided, I'm going to go leaps and bounds for myself. I've zeroed in on what I must do to keep myself healthy. It's time to visit. It's time to expand. This is somebody that you would want back in your life. But both of you have a lot of unspoken words and a lot to understand before you would be definitively knowing this is like your divine counterpart type of energy. They're done looking at the pictures, and I keep hearing that whole phrase, a picture speaks 1,000 words. They just see such a grown individual. In recent times, it's been hard for them to not think about you. Yeah, somebody definitely had, I'm just, PG-13, but somebody's definitely been having some intimate thoughts about you and having a family and the harmony, the abundance that would come, and how it just feels like they're a tiptoe and a skip away from that timeline with you. Spirit says you're not exactly supposed to know when this happens. You're not the person to make a forward movement. However, your dynamic ended between you two, I just sense the ball being in that person's court. There could have been a sense of, let me see if I'm reading this correctly. Okay. Yeah, so for a lot of you here, the dynamic is, this was a person where things didn't get off foot. You deeply had gone through a separation that was like that dark night of the soul before you met this person. And it was vibing, it was going really well. but it was like plans could never meet. It was a back and forth of let's meet up, let's do this, and it not working out, and ghosting, and etc. And I sensed that you could have just been like, you know what, I'm done. It's nothing personal. In fact, it kind of really sucks because I really liked this person and I was attracted to this person. But I just see somebody that's going to continue to push me off, and I don't want to be a chaser in anybody's life ever again. So even if you are the one, some of you here, you were the one to separate. It feels though it's still in that person's, the ball's in their court to make some movement. Because the reason you separated was that back and forth. Ever since the unfriend or the unmatched, take it as it resonates, they've felt a complete imbalance about the last dynamic with you. I could see somebody actually, it may be hard for you to believe, but they did cry about this because they liked you way more than they were letting off. Because here's the thing, that person also did not want to be a chaser. I sense that that person believes they self-sabotaged with you. This person is bringing a movement, and there is a reason that you did go into, like, you were both guided to make sure your paths couldn't completely cross, like timing lining up for you two, until there was still more justice at play in both of your personal lives that had nothing to do with each other. Focus, work. And to understand this is more than seduction. They've never felt this way for somebody before. Especially with the little amount you two had ever talked about spirituality or alchemy or inner transformation. Like everything changed. Duh. When they met you. They're almost like, duh, how could it not? How could you not see how much you mean to me? Spirit says that they encouraged this. Neither of you were trying to make the other person chase. In fact, fear was fear and ego was a deep sense of what kept the miscommunication happening between you two. Assumptions that the other one was trying to be a player type or chase, etc. There was a lot of shields on both sides. But yeah, you were like, you know what, if this is all this is for them, just a seduction or etc., if that's what I feel in that moment's happening, it's not today. I'm done. I'm just sensing somebody who instantly put a boundary up or unclicked something. So really somebody could have just like unfriended, unmatched, etc. But with this, again, with this separation, it is now being shown that most of the thoughts of you, of the missing, of the nostalgia type feeling, were not of sexual. They've definitely, within the past like 2 days, something's amped up about that. But for a humongous part of this separation, it was not all of this sexual tension that we're thinking about. It was genuinely your smile, your connection, being able to be themselves. Spirit's letting you know that no relationship's ever going to be perfect. But do not let the fact that you two know there's something more here, but are stuck in the care of the worry of so hard of not getting your ego broken to make a movement to each other. So, what's your step one from here? What should you do when it comes to regards to this connection falling back in your hands is what I'm really hearing. Yeah. I'm telling you, they're reaching out to you. No matter if the ball is technically in your court or not. If you were the one to unfriend or end the connection or not, I sense that person feeling and having this urge within them that they know they have to try. And this is a big restoring balance, but also showing, it's not showing you or anything. I know it's a weird, twisty way of saying it, but it's not showing or proving anything to you, that they're willing to put their heart out on their sleeve for you, etc. That's organic. It's proving to the universe that they're not letting fear stop them from trusting what? Going in to something by spirit's side versus going into something blind. They see this is a leap of faith, and it's even deeper than it's a deeper success and triumph for them, even more than being back together with you. There is a whole side of them that had a lot of jealousy or what ifs, paranoia, that they tried to make it seem they didn't have, but now they understand they have to embrace all of themselves. They have to see that those parts don't make them this undesirable person. It's part of the human experience, and it's about keeping control and at bay, and the only way to keep things at control and at bay are to organically talk about everything. We do have an individual that's part of your highest timeline. They've definitely been focused on getting priorities and etc. with work more together. Not that there was anything bad going for them. I just sensed somebody seeing they needed to be center focused on this next goal, this next promotion, etc. But there's been a restorance, like a check mark, a coming back home, if you will. And I sense a very beautiful offer being presented any day. Alright, that's what I got for you, TikTok Collective. And I'll see you when I see you. Let's get it.